Hi everybody, this is Boogass Reviews, and today I'm going to be doing a review on the new McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Collector Edition Strange Lives of Superman Platinum figure. So before we take a look at this very strange Superman, let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories that he comes with. So first up, he comes with your standard DC Multiverse Platinum base, but he stands very well on his own. Up next you get his data file, cool shot from the comic right there. And if you want to read that, go ahead and pause that now. Up next, he comes with a set of fisted hands. Up next, he comes with a set of open hands. And I feel like these hands are still a little bit large for this body mold, but it's better than not getting any alternate hands, I guess. Up next, you get his standard head sculpt. And this looks nothing like Superman. I don't think it especially doesn't look like the art that it's representing. Yeah, that really looks nothing like Superman to me. It looks like the actor Richard Kind to me. I mean, it is painted and sculpted really nicely. I suppose that's another reason why it sucks that it doesn't really look like Superman, because I do feel like they did put some effort into this head sculpt. You know, he doesn't actually look like he has weird lipstick on. The lips are a little bit dark, but I feel like it's not too unrealistic. The hair is sculpted really, really nicely, and I love the blue shading that we get over that. The details on the eyes and the eyebrows are painted on really well. So it's not a horrible head sculpt, it just looks nothing like Superman, or this particular Superman to me. Up next you get the goofy Superman head sculpt, and I think the alternate head sculpts are where this figure really shines. Honestly, I'm probably going to be leaving this or the other alternate head sculpt on him, because these are very well done. They're sculpted really nicely, the hair looks really, really good, sculpted very well. And I think the paint on the face is done really well too, except for this right here. This is like a black scuff mark. But they printed the red right here for his cheeks on. They printed the lips, and I think they also printed the eyes on. I think the paint on the eyes is really well done. This is just a really good looking head sculpt. I was surprised at the amount of paint variation that it has, or print variation I should say. It just looks really good in hand. And finally, he comes with his masked head sculpt. And this is sculpted really well too. It's sculpted really well and painted very nicely. It's cast in this really light gray color and has the dark gray painted over top of it. And it brings the detailing out really nicely. That's very well detailed, and the paint really brings that out. That looks really awesome. I feel like some customizers could also use this to make a Negative Man from Doom Patrol. Maybe this head sculpt on a Hush body. I don't know, I feel like some customizers could really do wonders with this alternate head sculpt. So now, let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the figure. So taking a look at the rest of the figure, it does reuse the Phygital Superman body, which I think is the best Superman body mold that we've got. It just looks really good, and it's articulated really nicely. You get the Superman logo painted on right there, and that came out very clean. I think that looks really nice. I especially love the fabric cape on this. You get the yellow Superman logo on the back, and it's actually wired all the way around. You know, sometimes McFarlane only wires the sides, which I do get that, but they actually wired the whole thing, from the sides to the bottom. And I think that looks really good. It is a little bit short, but you can pose it around really nicely because of the wire being ran all the way around the edges of it. So I'm really happy about this cape. It is very nice. There's not really a whole lot of paint other than the logo right here. You get yellow for the belt and then some black shading on the trunks, which I think that looks pretty good. But the rest of the figure is just cast in this red color. I think it actually looks really good like that. I don't think they really needed to go overboard with sculpting or shading. I think it looks pretty good as is. So now, let's go ahead and go over his articulation. So he has a ball-jointed neck that can look up all the way. He can look down all the way. He can move his head side to side and all the way around very nicely. He has shoulders that can move all the way out and spin all the way around very nicely. He has a swivel at the bicep, double jointed elbows that can bend all the way in, wrists that can move up and down and spin all the way around very nicely. He has a ball jointed diaphragm and waist that can move back that far. He can crunch forward a little bit. It's a little more hindered than I remember it being. He can move side to side up here and down here at the waist, and all the way around very nicely. He has hips that can do a complete split. You can actually push them out, so he has some really good range of motion there. He can kick forward very, very far, back all the way. He has a really nice thigh swivel. Now these are really crunchy. They do articulate, it's just they're very crunchy, the double jointed knees there. He has ankles that can move down all the way, up all the way, spin all the way around, and to articulation that can move up all the way. So now, let's do a couple size comparisons. So first up here he is next to the Digital Superman figure, the figure that this shares the body mold with. And finally here he is next to the Platinum Classic Batman figure. So overall, if you can find this one, then I would highly recommend picking it up, because McFarlane Toys did a really good job on this. I think the sculpt is really good, it uses a really good body mold. I especially love the wired cape and the alternate head sculpts. The only real downside to this figure is I'm not super fond of the regular Superman head, but I didn't plan on displaying this with the regular Superman head anyways. I also forgot to mention that this is a Target exclusive for some reason. I'm not quite sure why McFarlane Toys decided to make this a Target exclusive. The regular one is hard enough to find, but then both of them are actually Target exclusives. It's just the Platinum is even harder to find because it is a Platinum and a Target exclusive. So even though it's pretty difficult to find, if you do find one, definitely pick it up. So, that's my review. If you like this review, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.